All right. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Have I... Let's see. Yep. It's been a while, so I need to... Let's see. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I started the intro today. I got everything set up, waiting around for about 10 minutes, and I started the intro and realized I hadn't tested the audio. So I was trying to do that really quick, wouldn't work. So here I am. You know, sometimes you forget how to ride the bicycle. But then it comes back to you. It all comes back. So Lola, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Whew. Tuesday, June 17th for some paper crafting fun. So vacation was great. Vacation's always great, but it's always great to be back and doing what you love, right? Like I definitely miss we were very go, go, go. There was a lot. We saw a ton. It was amazing. But sometimes just sitting and breathing and cutting paper is makes me happy. So, but all good. All right. So how are you? Hopefully everybody's doing good. It is very hot here. For the last 3 weeks, I was very cold. And I think my body's trying to figure out how to readjust to the heat here, the Arizona heat. It's a little different than what we were just in for 3 weeks. So you look at a map and you know where things are on the globe as a whole, right? But then when you start to experience it, you're like, oh yeah, we really are. We were like at one point, I think we were level. Well, I know we were level with Alaska. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember where. So cold. That's my long way of saying I was cold a lot. Okay, but let's get to the fun stuff, like paper crafting fun, because that's fun. So today's card, let's create it. Let me show you, and then we will go from there. Okay, so today's card, let me make the desk big, because that's what I do. If I can remember all the certain steps correctly, right? So we're going to be making this card. I was trying to come up with an adjective. Cute, beautiful. I don't know. You just let me know. And so lots of stuff. We're going to be doing some heat embossing, which I don't do very often on camera because I can't figure out how to turn off the audio. Oh, wait, maybe do I want to mess with it or should you guys just listen to the heat gun? I don't know. You guys let me know. But we're going to be doing this. So yesterday was my first day back in the casita. Had to cool the casita down a little bit. The AC was on, but I did keep it comfort level, right? Had, but yeah, so in here yesterday, creating cards for this week's monthly card class. So if you're in Yuma and you would like to come to the card class, I have one spot open. So let me know. Okay, so this card, we are starting with a very thick piece of basic white. And it's your traditional 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. But I'm not going to score it yet, which is different from what I normally do, because I'm going to add this piece of paper, designer series paper, to it. And I want to be able to pick the whole thing up and kind of make sure that it's in place when I do that. So we're going to add this guy first. And I'm using liquid glue. And maybe I didn't use this beforehand, but you know. Let's, there we go. So just adding some glue here to the edges and to the middle. Not too much. You don't want too much, otherwise it's going to ooze out the sides, right? We're going to pick this guy up. And I'm using liquid glue because I want the leeway to move it around a little bit if I don't get it exactly. So because it's cut, there we go. Because it's cut to 5.5, right? So there's no edges. I don't want any layered edges on there. Okay, now we're gonna fold it. And so I wanted it to be like that. Okay. Okay. So what have you guys been up to since I've been gone? Paper crafting fun? That would have been a good like contest or something. Like, how many cards did you guys make, or how many projects did you finish while I was gone? And then we could have had like some kind of raffle. I have to remember that. Somebody remind me about that for next time. Okay, so we have this guy. I'm going to put that off to the side because we're going to do some stamping. I'm bringing out the Stamparatus because I want these guys in the same position. So I'm going to stamp with Versamark and use embossing powder to make the white on the black. And then I want it in the same position on this white piece of paper. So what are we going to do first? Let's do the Versamark first. So I have these guys cut. And let's see, Lola said you made cards. You did about 25. Wow, that's like more than a card a day. That's good. Well, yeah, it is. Because I think we were gone for like 21 days, but that included travel time, right? So crazy. Okay, so I'm going to, seriously? I'm going to, where's my other ink? Also on vacation, I got a lot of steps in. A lot of steps. And the last couple of days since we've been home, not so many steps. So we'll just chalk this up to getting my steps in. Okay, so we're going to take the Versamark, right? Versamark, there we go. And we're going to ink up our big giant tulip stamp. This is from the Mixed Florals stamp set. It's a great stamp to color with your blends. You don't have to color it at all, like I'm going to show you guys here. And oops, you know what I need to do first though? Is just do a really light dusting of this so that hopefully our fingerprints and all the stuff. Hello, Melanie. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for watching. So we're going to squish this down like so to get that hopefully nice and good. Let's see, is it all there? Sure. It's all there. Okay. If it wasn't all there, you just re-ink it or you just push it back down, right? We all have a Stamparatus or a Misty where we could do that. But I am going to clean this off first so that I don't forget. And I clean it with baby wipes. I don't use baby wipes very often. At class I use them because they're easy. Right now I'll use it because it's easy. But usually I use my Stamp and Scrub or my chamois to clean. I guess if I had a wet chamois, I could use that right now. I haven't even looked at my chamois yet. You know what else I don't have over here? Kleenex. This should be interesting. Okay. So let's do the embossing part. We are going to use white powder, and I have a bunch of different powders. So let's hold this guy and put this on like so. I think my favorite tool with the embossing powders is really a plastic spoon. It just works really well. And I have these little plastic containers that I keep the powder in, so that you just kind of get all the dust back in there. Now, I really didn't have to do this whole thing because I am going to cover up half of it, but why not do it all? Just in case, I don't know, something goes wrong. Right? You never know what's going to happen. All right. Now, I do have this little brush, right? Stampin' Up, we sell a embossing kit. It's got this little great brush where you can dust stuff off. It's got tweezers so you don't burn your fingers on when you're holding the paper. This paper, obviously it's so big, I'm not going to burn my fingers, but if it was a little tiny guy, you definitely want to hold paper with tweezers. And this guy right here, which would catch all of the embossing powder, I find it very staticky here in Arizona. I don't know if it's just, it's got to be because it's so dry. My guess is that if it wasn't so dry here, it would work. It wouldn't be so staticky, right? I'm not sure if you guys can hear me now. Let me know. There we go. I always love how it just kind of like starts at a spot and then just kind of grows. And you get that shiny, you get that powder and it turns shiny. All right. There was that. All right. So there's this guy. Now, we're going to take the same stamp and we're going to use our Memento Black ink and we're going to stamp it on the white piece of paper. Like so. I always do like a little, can you guys see this right here? This little like 90-degree angle, and that's always kind of like the marker as to where I want my paper. So we're going to take our other ink pad and just use it as a holder there. Makes it easier. We're going to ink this guy up like so. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you guys think of black and white? I like it. I like color too. I don't know. I like all paper crafting. I mean, you guys know me. I definitely gravitate towards the blues, but I like all color. I think we all go, maybe we go through periods of where we play with a certain color a lot. Obviously, different times of the year too, right? Like in the fall, we're going to play with kind of our regals a little bit more. Spring, we'll do pastels, our subtles. Let's see, Lola said, you just did a black, gray, and white birthday card this spring. Wow, great minds, right? All right, let's see, is that guy up? Just a little bit more over here. All right. So I can put this guy off to the side. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this guy. And then I'm just going to layer it on top of the black. So I'm not going to forget how big I did that. Oh, I did 1 3/4 because that's half. 1 3/4. 1 3/4. There we go. Cut. I'll tell you, yesterday, like I said, first day back in the casita, it was a little interesting. My fingers weren't really working right. I was telling myself to cut, I don't remember the measurement, but say I was telling myself to cut 4 1/2. I was like cutting at 4 1/4. Lots of little like, oh my goodness, what's happening here? Moments. Okay, so can you guys see that? I just cut it in half at 1 3/4. And now we're just going to add it to the top of the card. So then we have this black and white image. And why is it that this time I use seal and not the liquid glue? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So there's this. Now, I took this guy right here, which is very open ribbon. It's mesh. It's gold. And I'm going to wrap it around on top of there. And then to attach it, I'm going to attach it with Terra tape. I like Terra tape for this stuff. You could use whatever you wanted. You could use tape runner. I would have a hard time using the liquid stuff. But hold on one second. Oh, goodness. Okay. Goodness, really? Okay. So I am just going to peel off the top of this guy, and I'm going to push this onto here, like so. So we have it like that. There we go. And then I'm going to add it to the front of the card. With probably use seal because it's handy, right? Like so. There's that. And then I used, I'm going to try it. I couldn't do it for the sample card. I had to stamp it first and then cut it out. But I cut out the very, very smallest of, what's this guy called? The textured notes, the rectangles that have the different kind of stitching on the edges. And let's see if I could do this, not this one. I'm going to do Memento Black. And this stamp set comes from, it's called Beautiful Motifs. And we're going to use the Thank You for Everything. And we're going to go like so. We're going to ink this guy up. Of course, ink, ink, ink. Tap, 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 right? All right, let's see if I can get it straight. As I hold my breath. Whew, pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that one. I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals because, you know, why not? And then we're going to add some bling. And this, Lola said, use that same die on my card too. Same die on my card too. Great minds. I know, Lola, look at that. Okay. That's funny. We'll have to see what else we come up with today. if we're on a streak, right? I'll text you pictures later of whatever I come up with today. Okay, we're going to add this guy right here to the center. And then I wanted just a little pop of color. And so I pulled out these guys. These are, what are they? They're Strawberry Slush and Pretty and Pink Gems. Like, right, so Strawberry Slush, Pretty and Pink. And then these guys are clear. They have little gold flakes in them. And so we're going to, I went a little crazy on the sample card. I did 5 because I wanted more color on the white. So let's just go with that. But I just kind of picked some random. I like the clear ones on the black for sure. They come in 2 different sizes, so whatever floats your boat. I'm not sure I'm doing a triangle here, but some kind of, here we go. So that is our card for today. You could do this with any stamp set you have, right? I mean, any big, giant focal point would work. Be really great with like leaves, like for the fall, right? When you start working with those regals again. Not that I ever stopped working with regals. Let's be real. I work with all colors all the time. So there's our card. All right, I don't have a whole lot else to talk about today. I have nothing like you. Sometimes I have a board that's like I want to talk about this and this and this. This was just about getting back to paper crafting fun on Tuesday. I still have to come up with our card for Wednesday's Fun Fold. We'll see what what I come up with today. And I really appreciate you guys being here. And thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody.